Okay, we are live. It is great to see you all again. Well, I guess I'm not seeing you all, but for you all to see me and to know that you are here and you're typing in the comments. You're so excited about this show. I'm glad to be here. And Arian is back, and I'm glad to be seeing him again too. And he's pouring a fizzy drink, which we can hear. And it's yeah, because it's making me like super thirsty. So anyway, welcome back to my channel. I am the Black Carnivore. This is the Black Carnivore channel. And here we talk all about getting healthy, eating a meat-based diet, and we are ramping up for the holidays. So on Tuesday, we talked about the Thanksgiving to Christmas challenge that we're going to do. And essentially, this is not going to be a draconian challenge or anything like that. This is just going to be a no cheating, stay on track, and just try to make it through the holidays the best we can. So, right. We'll be providing a lot of support and camaraderie and, and just as much assistance as we can. I'll probably, check in daily and have like some Q&As and stuff like that. So it should be a really fun time, and hopefully we'll come out of the holidays in great shape.
Hopefully.
Yeah, right, Arian?
Right? Yeah. I mean, we should. With all that support and knowing that a bunch of other people are doing it and providing you accountability, we should all make it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think we might get sponsors and stuff, so there'll be some, gifts or maybe, party favors. I don't know. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah. So you definitely want to click on the link below in the description, and there is a link to sign up specifically for the Thanksgiving to Christmas Carnivore Challenge. So the other thing that we're going to talk about today is Thanksgiving. So, Thanksgiving, obviously the star of the meal is a turkey. So theoretically, we should have no trouble staying a carnivore. But in reality, we all know that there are some definite pitfalls. So I wanted to talk today about, start helping you think about it, plan, and sort of figure out what you're going to have. So I, created a menu, a Thanksgiving Day menu that might be helpful to kind of get started. And then we can kind of keep talking about it from there. And I encourage you to kind of think about what you might like to have, think about some recipes. And now is the time to do something special and fancy that you might not normally do. So Thanksgiving is not the day for meatballs. Make it special. Yeah.
As much as we all love meatballs, not the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And, this is the time to make, if you're going to get together with family, some of you are, this is the time to, make your family members jealous by how healthy you can get, lose weight and all of that at eating this way. So you want to show off the finest, most delicious options. Okay, so yeah. So I'm going to show, let's see. Can I do this? So this is a Thanksgiving Day menu that I was thinking about. Let's see. Can you all see that? Oh my gosh. I'm not even looking at the comments.
You probably want to blow that up more.
Okay. I can do that. Okay. Hey, everybody. And oh my goodness, there's a lot of people watching. Can you please subscribe, and click the little bell icon so you can get notification every time we go live. But yeah, please go ahead and like the video, because we've got a lot of people here. All right, hey everybody. Hey C Bliss, good to see you. Hey everyone. And let's see, Lady V likes to make a Cornish hen for each individual. Yes, that definitely seems very fancy. I'm definitely down with that idea. Hey, Carnivore Junkie, good to see you. Hey, everybody. So I just want to shout out Carnivore Junkie. He's been making some really great vegan videos and, some very interesting stuff going on over there. So I would head over and take a look. Hey, Esther, it's awesome to see you. Yeah, definitely. This is one to look forward to. So I kind of came up with some ideas that I was thinking about. Now, this menu includes cheese, so this is not for everyone. But one of the most decadent things I used to make was this cheesy fondue dip, where it was sort of not a solid sauce. So it was warm, and it was made with cream cheese, butter, heavy whipping cream, and shredded cheddar cheese. And sometimes I would put Frank's hot sauce in it too. And so it was the most decadent, like essentially fondue. And
that sounds delicious.
Yeah. So it made 4 servings, but it really didn't seem like it. So I definitely went through all 4 servings in a day, which was probably about 2,000 calories. So literally. So I know we don't talk about calories, and you eat what you want, you let your appetite direct you, but oh my God, you can easily eat 2,000 calories in a day, and that is too much energy. But that's just something to think about. Hey everybody.
Don't be like 8A and go ahead and spread that out maybe, or make it when you're having company so that you're not eating it all yourself. That's all. Spread the love all around.
Yeah. Well, it's not a lot of sauce, so it's just it's just an appetizer. And and I was thinking about things that you could dip in it. So it might be meatballs, or bacon wrapped cocktail sized link sausage, stuff like that. But you can use your imagination, think about things you could dip in. I've even made meatloaf and intended to make it as dry as possible, so I could slice it thinly and toast it and use it like a toast point.
Oh, that'd be cool. You could also make some really crispy bacon and dip that, right?
Well, of course. Or your fingers. Those are excellent too. I don't recommend that at the table, but when you're in the kitchen, like getting other things together, yeah.
Doesn't really fit the respectable dining room theme that we've had going on, but
yeah,
maybe sneak a finger in.
Yeah.
Just a taste.
Just the tip.
No, I said just a taste. You took it there.
Okay. So then for an entree, have you ever deep fried a turkey?
I have never deep fried a turkey myself. I have had deep fried turkey, and my God, it was the most delicious turkey I've ever had.
Really?
My dad's got a cousin in New Orleans. We went down there to visit him, and it was around Thanksgiving time. And yeah, deep fried the turkey, and then like also his cornbread was like kind of sweet, but not really sweet. And everything was so good. I don't even really like turkey most of the time. Like the dark meat's kind of tough, depending on how you cook it, and then the white meat ends up dry a lot of times, or just doesn't have much flavor. But that deep fried turkey, I guess whatever was in the oil, like all the spices, just soaked right through the skin or something. I don't know what he did, but that turkey was delicious.
Wow. So I feel like I had deep fried turkey once, and it wasn't good, but it also wasn't, I don't think it was fresh, and it was the dregs. Like it wasn't the finest part of it. So I was like, okay, I'm willing to I'm willing to hold out judgment. It was the pieces. When you arrive late. Well, when you arrive late to a dinner, all the finest pieces have been taken. It's been sitting out for a while, and it wasn't that good. It was kind of, dry. It was the stuff that no one else wanted. So
you were like hours late.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they should have covered it up for you.
Yeah. So Lady V loves the meatloaf idea. Okay, that's awesome. And now Cody says, now I want cornbread.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. I don't want any old cornbread though. I want his cornbread and nobody else's. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how to find him and get his cornbread. I need to talk to my dad. We need to make another trip down there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I have seen some people making like some kind of bread from pork rinds. So,
Oh yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
that might work.
we can skip to the side section for a sec. So I did try to make carnivore stuffing with pork rind breadcrumbs one year.
Please tell me this story because you said this earlier when just we were talking, and I laughed so hard. I need to understand what is carnivore stuffing
Well, so you
or
take the bread.
dressing, as some people call it.
Yeah. So you take the pork rinds and you don't make flour out of it. You make sort of chunks, just like breadcrumbs might be, and you mix it up and you mix up all the ingredients and you do all the same stuff with it, and then you bake it in the oven. And I used like sausage, and I had all of the spices that you would use, the sage and thyme, and all of that stuff. And what? I've
What
got
happened?
something playing. Can you? I just something started playing on my computer. Can you hear me?
No, I hear you. I don't hear the thing playing.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I mixed all the things together, and I put it in the oven. And when I pulled it out, it looked exactly like dressing looks like. I mean, exactly
Hmm.
like all the years past. So I was really excited. But when I went to eat it, it was not exactly like all the years past, and there was no way that I was going to be able to pass that off as stuffing. So
So you decided
but
I'm not going to visit this experiment on anyone else. I'm not gonna. You didn't have any enemies right then that you could
well, so
quietly dismiss
I'm
and
not, I'm not the best cook. So I feel like I am willing to hand over the idea to somebody else who is adventurous and a better cook, who might be
Mhm.
able to make it work better. But I feel like I have a tough relationship with stuffing. I love it. It's the one thing that I want every single year. But it's also the one thing I've never quite get the flavor that I'm looking for. And at a certain point, I finally decided, after years of trying to make it super fancy and getting the most fanciest of this and that, I've been making it with dried cherries and port and, all this like fancy sausage and pecans and
dried
all this
cherries and
stuff.
port, pecans.
Yeah. So I've gone all out and gone all different directions, but I finally one year decided, really, the taste I am trying to achieve is what my grandmother used to make, which was stovetop stuffing. So I just said, forget it. I'm not making it from scratch. I'm buying stovetop because that's really what I'm looking for. So So when I made the pork rind dressing, I was trying to achieve stovetop, and I didn't. Now I feel like if I maybe if I had bought, like, I don't know, there must be like a Pepperidge Farm stuffing flavor packet, and if I could get 5 of them and put that in, maybe that would help me do that.
Hmm. Okay. So did yours have like chicken or turkey broth?
I think it was chicken broth.
Okay. Because as far as I'm concerned, or at least so I'm thinking about it now, I've helped make stuffing once, but I've never made it on my own. Or we always call it dressing. Like for us, the difference is it's stuffing if it's actually in the turkey or the chicken, and if it's not in there, then it's dressing.
Okay.
Um,
Sure.
hey, certain things, black households like are a big deal. So
Sure. Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of celery in it, and there's definitely broth. There's the breadcrumbs, and then a whole bunch of spices. So so I
So
feel like you got it.
butter. No, I all the ingredients were there. I think perhaps it could have used more spices like sage and thyme and so on. And perhaps I used too much liquid. So Cody is asking what was the stuffing texture like. And so it was a little more mushy than I like. I think if I had used less liquid, it would have been more crunchy, which I would have also liked.
And see if that's the case. Well, so too much liquid means too much of the broth, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
And there was
think
also a lot of fat from the pork sausage that I included. So that
whoa,
created
whoa,
liquid too.
I missed that. Pork sausage?
You don't put sausage in your stuffing?
No.
Oh. Huh.
Dressings aside, it doesn't have a meat in it.
Huh.
You put
Okay.
oh, okay. See, you had pork sausage and pork rinds. So two extra sources of fat inside the dressing,
Mhm.
plus the liquid of the broth, which will
And
eventually
butter.
cook off if you cook it long enough. Whoa, and butter.
Yeah. So there was a lot of liquid fat in there too.
Yeah, that's probably
All
that
right.
sounds
So
like the
all of
reason.
you who are better cooks than me, please try this and kind of figure out what I did wrong.
Pork sausage in the dressing.
Mhm.
Do you like? I assume you like dice up or chop up the sausage pretty smallish, right?
Well, I usually use like the log of sausage, so it's in crumbles.
Okay.
But you didn't always put meat in your stuffing?
No, I have never had dressing with a meat in it. It's
Huh.
a bready, starchy side.
Yeah, with some meat in it.
No. Then
So
it's
my grandmother always put the gizzards from the turkey in it plus some sausage. So as a kid, I guess I did eat turkey heart and lung and whatever else came inside the turkey plus sausage in the dressing. So
yeah.
I used to beg
Gizzard.
her not to because I could taste it, but you know.
Really? You hated the gizzards that much that you wanted them out?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get my wish, but yeah. I mean, I could taste it, so I would have to
Hmm.
just kind of overlook it.
See, I feel like I don't know that my mom did that, but I need to ask because I just know
Co-
it tasted like turkey and I was happy with it.
Cody says every family does it differently. Don't fight.
I'm
Yeah.
really I guess yeah, I'm turning my face up and I don't mean to, not this much, but I'm really like amazed. I literally had never heard of meat in the dressing.
Wow. So, what about your collard greens? Do you also have no meat in that?
Oh no. Yeah, every vegetable gets a meat in it. It's there's like a what is it? Neck bones or something in there. But
Wow. Miss M and Miss Tay D says they like it with sausage and oysters. I've never
I
added oysters.
wow.
Yeah. Oh, and
Hmm.
gizzards. Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah,
Esther has meat and mushrooms.
interesting. All right.
Yeah.
So all right, I have more research to do because apparently there's a ton of different ways to do dressing that I have not heard of.
Well, I did like putting in either cranberries or dried cherries and pecans. That was a really nice flavor as well. But my stuffing became so, you know, dense that it's a meal in and of itself.
Hmm.
So, yeah. In any event, moving beyond stuffing. So
I feel like you got to give it like five more old college tries. Like
I could
less
try.
fat.
I could try. And I'd be curious now, that other bread that people make, is it from eggs or what is it?
Yeah.
So
I think the base of
wonder.
it is like eggs and baking powder to make it rise. Or not
So
rise, but to keep it fluffy a little bit.
so I wonder if it ever gets crispy. Like, would that be another option?
I bet it would if you cook it long enough.
So,
That
that
makes
might be
sense.
another option. Chicken, when it's chicken breast, when it's shredded, can give you, a crispier texture. Like, that might
Oh
be an
yeah.
option. So, I don't know. There might be a couple ways to mix up some meats and make some kind of dressing. Hey, Delisa, thank you so much for the super chat. $10. That's really awesome.
Wow.
Thank you.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
Lady V is like you, Arian. Never had meat in the dressing, stuffing. Her late mom made the best, but she could never share a recipe, and I stopped trying to figure out her secret. It was love. I mean, it was
Right.
just her love. Like, there's no other, there's no way to replicate that.
I think I have my mom's recipe laying around somewhere.
That's how you treat it, laying around somewhere.
I mean, it's somewhere. I especially since I don't cook the stuff, like it may be in my phone, hopefully.
Well, Miss M says the egg bread is an option to use as a base for dressing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I hope you all think about that. Get some ideas there, and if you like it, like that might be a long-term, dish that you can continue to have. It sounds delicious to me. So
Yeah, actually. Like if one of y'all figures this out, like post it in the Facebook or something or on Instagram because I wouldn't mind every once in a while. It's definitely more work than I'd want to do on a regular basis, but every once in a while you want to do something different. That'd be cool to make stuffing slash dressing and it actually be carnivore and still taste good and not just taste like a pile of meat.
well, I don't know. But if you can make a tray of it, you can keep some. Like, you can freeze it. Like, it doesn't have to be, so much work.
Yeah, like you do it once and then yeah, I probably would. If I made a whole pan of that, I'm definitely freezing like 3/4 of it.
Yeah, it's probably pretty dense. Okay, so let's go back to the entrees. So I said deep fried turkey, and then now's the time to indulge in a ribeye, or get a whole, what do they call it, a whole primal, where you cut off the steaks yourself, and you did that.
Yeah. Or especially if they're coming on sale in that same vein, the prime rib roast would be perfect for a Thanksgiving dinner. Because that's,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but that's not a thing that I would buy on a regular basis just because it's so expensive. But it makes for a festive and different, but still pretty much the same as eating a steak meal.
Yeah, it is festive.
Yeah, it's like I cooked this whole like 8 pound piece of meat, and it's especially if you're still doing spices. Like there's the crusted spices all over the outside and the insides. That perfect. Hopefully, you're not cooking the thing well done, like pink or even more rare meat. And then I don't know about you, but I find that the rib roasts they get trimmed less than an actual ribeye.
Probably.
I'll get more fat on those.
Yeah. Well, I see Christine says, what's wrong with a pile of meat? Totally agree.
Yeah,
And,
definitely no problem with that.
Yeah. And Melvina says they used to put gizzards and livers in their dressing as well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it just seems like why wouldn't you? It's that's how it's gonna be. And let's see, Esther says bacon wrapped chicken thighs. Wow. Did not.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. Like that seems to fall where kind of in that line of like bacon wrapped hot dogs. Like I've tried to do that. It seemed like a good idea, and then in the process of doing it, it was kind of like, that's wow.
The
But
thing I would wonder about with that would be, I mean, I would never want to buy thighs without the skin. And then that means I'm wrapping the bacon around the skin, which is around the thigh, and I need it all to stay together. And I would just wonder if it's going to do that. Or if the bacon's just gonna, because that bacon has a ton of fat, the skin is gonna release some fat. Is the bacon just gonna slide off it?
well, that's what a toothpick is for.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But I like just the chicken skin to get really crispy. So I probably wouldn't cook it wrapped in bacon. I might try to figure out how to wrap it after. I don't know. I don't know how I would
Yeah,
do
I don't know
that.
how you do that.
I think it might work better with it when there's no skin with the thigh.
Mm-hmm. And then what do you got to do with those? Well, you can just straight up fry chicken skin.
Well, I'm saying if I got chicken thighs that had the skin already removed, that's when I would do it.
Yeah, but
'Cause
then someone else is enjoying your good chicken thigh skin.
I know, but well, like I said, where I am in New York, sometimes they sell the chicken thighs with the skin already gone.
Oh, like sometimes it's even hard to find them with the skin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez. New York.
I
New
know.
York, what are you doing?
I know. People are trying to be slim and healthy, and this is the choice they make. So
Right.
it's it's hard. Um, let's see. Katuro says my gran put gizzard in her stuffing too, and she misses her. Yeah, yeah. This is definitely the time to miss family. And then Esther says she went to the local butcher yesterday and almost hit the floor when he told her that he threw away a bunch of the fat that he trimmed off the meat before I got there. Oh, so sorry. So
Ouch.
sorry.
Bummer.
Yeah, Esther concurs. The toothpick through the chicken thigh. Hey, Glenda. Great to see you. So glad you are here.
Hey, Glenda.
Yeah. So the other thing was let's see. I had a roast pork shoulder with crispy skin. So
Because
that's a
that
big.
loves crispy.
I'm not the only one.
You're
And
not, but I feel like it's such a big deal for you. Like if it's not crispy, you're like, no, it's not done. Put it back in. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about it. I don't want to eat it.
yeah, I don't want to eat it. I don't want to talk about it. No, it should. That's the whole purpose of it. But that's a great source. You can get a lot of fat there, and it's delicious piece of meat. So who makes some of that for any holiday? I encourage it definitely.
Yeah, that'd be cool. The last time I bought a big thing of pork, I tried to make jerky out of it. It wasn't as good. I think I will just
Jerky.
roast it next
Wow.
time.
Do people make
Yeah.
jerky out of pork?
I mean, I
feel
figured
like I've
it's
never
meat,
seen
so
that.
why not? I think who are the people that sell the really simple jerky in bags? Is that Epic? Or is that somebody else?
I don't know. There's a lot of simple jerky in bags.
Oh, well, this one, all right. They're the only one I've seen that like sells jerky without like adding crap to it. It's literally just the meat
Oh,
and the salt.
People's Choice.
It might be them.
Yeah.
It's them or Epic, one of those two, but I might be confusing Epic for them. But I think they do a pork jerky, and that's what gave me the idea.
Huh.
So
Okay.
yeah, I
But you
sliced it up
didn't
like
care for it?
it came out kind of tough. I may have cooked it a little long. Like lately. I do everything for just straight up 4 hours, and at 4 hours I'm done. It's not even like 4 hours. I start eating it. Like I think you had said it one time. Like you start eating it at 4 hours because you just can't. You don't want to wait any longer. I straight up take all of it out at 4 hours. I
Oh
don't want it
wow.
to get. I don't want it to get tougher. It's not like I'm expecting this jerky to last like 5 years, so I'm not trying to cook every little bit of water out of it. And
I wondered
so,
about that. Like, do I really? I mean, especially if I know it's only going to last a couple days, do I really need to be that careful?
right, like I'm starting to not starting. I do think that if it only needs to last, a reasonable amount of time, then you might as well make it as edible as possible, as palatable as possible, I should say. And yeah, it doesn't need to be all super dried out like you're about to make pemmican out of it for that. So yeah, made the oh yeah, because pemmican has to be super dry.
Oh,
Like
really? Because it's
damn near
easier to
you could do
pound,
this. Say again.
so that it's easier to pound or
Yeah,
grind up and turn into well, I guess a flour.
yeah, it pretty much becomes that. A flour, like meat flour, to the point that like you could blow into it and you would like dust would go in your face and make you sneeze and stuff. Um, I
We got to go
imagine it's
back to
supposed to
you
be.
making. We got to go back to you making pemmican and making soap. Because you're like a pioneer woman. Like you have just figured out like the core things that you need to do to survive. So yeah, we got to go
Right.
back to that. We're gonna come
And
back to that.
also it's not carnivore at all, but I'll talk about the super simple laundry detergent that I make for myself too.
Oh my god, you make laundry detergent? Like
It,
what?
I mean, make really is a strong word. I mix it up, but yeah, I stop using the stuff that you buy from the store, and
Wait,
I
what do you
buy
mix up?
it's it's borax and washing powder and Fells Naphtha laundry soap.
And what?
Fells Naphtha laundry soap. Naptha. It's a hard word for me to say.
Are these things? I mean, I've heard of borax, but are these things like chemicals? Like, is this why you just happen to have lye at home, or do you?
No, the lie was only for the soap. But
Okay.
yeah, they I had a uh I had a girlfriend who put me on to making the soap, the laundry detergent, and it's so much cheaper than anything you'll buy at the store, and it works.
Yeah, I know. I mean, man, I might have to do that because yeah, like Tide is super expensive.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
I'm stunned. And now, well, we're just gonna have to come back to that and do like a whole show about all the little tips and tricks you have, the things that you make. Do you make your own light bulbs? Do you make your own like pencils? Do you knit your own socks? I don't know. You got to tell me. I got to hear it all.
so so these are the three right now. I don't think I make anything.
Oh my
I'm
God,
pretty
Oom
sure.
is right there with you on the laundry soap. So there are other people
Yeah.
who are doing this.
Oh yeah. Like this isn't. It's not like I made up all these things that I did. I didn't make up any of them. I didn't have to do a whole lot of research. Like there are
Mm.
whole like websites dedicated to. Some people call it homesteading, where they're trying to get back to how people used to live and
Yeah.
to be more independent and make more things on their own. Or and that was my I do like the idea of creating a lot less waste, which this
Mm-hmm.
does. I have one box of borax, one box of washing powder. I bought like 8 bars of the soap at
Mm-hmm.
once, and I haven't needed to buy anything
Mm-hmm.
in probably over a year now. Um, So I'm throwing away so much less. I'm spending so much less. Like I like the idea of choosing where my money goes and yeah, making less trash, making a lot less trash.
Well, I want to make the laundry detergent thing. That would be ideal. So yeah,
It's and that one you'll like. It's super easy.
yeah,
You don't have sensitive skin, do you?
I do.
Okay, so you may have a problem transitioning to it.
Well, isn't this what's in laundry detergent now?
Yeah, but I don't know. It just happens sometimes with people that like I had one friend with sensitive skin. She used my washer. She didn't have her own detergent, so she used mine. And then like a week or two later, she told me that all those clothes like made her the clothes that she had washed at my place made her break out. So it may just be a thing of like just switching detergents does that, or there may be something specific in what I'm making that breaks her out.
Mm.
I've heard people. I think I read that it may be the borax that can break some people out.
Well, I do remember we would put that down to get rid of roaches. This was back in, the bad old days of New York City when you had
Ooh.
slumlords and yeah. So it's like borax for killing things or washing your clothes. I don't know. And then I watched, when I was watching like uh, the guy who does the snake juice. Like he has
Hmm.
different recipes for the snake juice, and one of them uses borax, and I'm like, wait a minute, or is it
Wait a
boric
minute.
acid? And I'm like, wait a minute, I know we use this to kill roaches. I remember this. Why are we drinking it? But I don't know. Yeah. Um,
I would very much like to know why that guy,
I
um,
don't know.
why he thinks that's a good idea.
I don't know. So Lady V, well, who is it? Bayet says Adrian is like Martha and Snoop all rolled in one. Um, yeah, yeah. And Lady V says, "What? Wow, Arian making his own laundry soap. I use Nellie's baking soda laundry detergent."
I haven't heard of
So
that one.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's my mind went to Little House on the Prairie and Nellie, whose father owned the general store. So I don't know. Maybe she did come out with her own line of laundry detergent. So
Right? Maybe that's what it's about.
yeah. Um, let's see. Well, Uma's trying to get the menu, and Christine asked what to use for fragrance in the soap.
I don't use anything. Um, I'm gonna
And
the clothes are gonna dry and lose whatever fragrance would be in them anyway. That's been my experience. So what I have is these woolen laundry balls, and you can put essential oil into those and run those in your dryer and along with the clothes, and that'll put a little scent on them.
wow, wow. And where's the woolen ball coming from? Are you spinning the yarn yourself from
If
leftover
only,
socks?
if only, like give me some land that I can grow probably chickens, cows, and sheep, and I would totally do that. But no, I just ordered those on Amazon.
Oh, so you're ready to go back to Colonial Williamsburg? Like you could just walk right in and like live.
I every once in a while I have a daydream about having a farm, like a regenerative farm with different animals on it, and
Nice.
I think it would be cool to like if we know that there was a time before agriculture, then we also know there was a time before we were dressing ourselves in cotton.
Yeah.
So using wool before then, and before then just like leather and being naked, and those were probably better for us than cotton, is my
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Let's see. Says I could use the naphtha and baking soda only to make the soap. Um,
Yeah, and you can
Cody
buy straight
says,
up.
I
Go
could buy
ahead.
straight up what?
Oh, the baking soda. All it to make it baking or washing powder. All it takes is you spread it thin in like a a baking pan and bake it for like a half hour, 45 minutes or something. And some chemical reaction happens and it becomes washing powder. Like they're the same thing. Baking soda and washing powder are just about the same compound.
Wow. I did not. You're like blowing my mind.
See,
Blowing
now
my
I feel
mind.
like I'm
I
like
should have paid attention in chemistry class.
I feel like the anarchist cookbook or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Let's see. Cody says boron is a required mineral. Maybe it's possible. It's possible. The fasting guy was talking about boron, but I'm pretty sure is boron boric acid? Because
Well, boron's the element.
I'm pretty sure he was saying the cheap way to get the boron is to get something else that is used in hardware, which I thought was boric acid, or sorry, borax. Anyway, let's get back. Okay, Esther. Yes,
So
Esther raised an
Wikipedia
excellent
says
point. Get back to staying on track for the holidays. That's what she is here for.
Wikipedia says borax is also known as sodium borate, sodium tetraborate, or disodium tetraborate. So it has borax in it, along with sodium and some other things. Looks like hydrogen, oxygen. Yeah. So it doesn't look like anything in there. If it breaks down to its like individual parts and doesn't stay as borax, would probably kill you. It doesn't look like those things would kill you. I have no idea. Do not go drinking borax because I said it, because I didn't say it.
He didn't know. Nobody had said it here. We're not down for that.
Right.
Okay, but Esther, I saw earlier you were saying that you didn't see anything for relaxed carnivores, but indeed you do. So let me make this bigger. And I don't know if you can see here, I put sides for the family inside this circle. Oh man, it's so small. But you'll see that I have mac and cheese cauliflower, where you can use that cheesy dipping sauce again, and you get that flavor. I have roasted sweet potatoes, roasted Brussels sprouts, I think I wrote salad, green beans, and collard greens. So I do make a nice keto, keto style collard green dish, which I, loved. So if you're going to, if you want to make more stuff that is appropriate for the larger family, you can make sure that you have that there. So how do you make your collard greens? Because I know I told someone how I saw my grandmother making them, and it blew her mind. So basically my grandmother would saute some onions and celery and salt and a stick of butter, and then put in all of the collard greens and cook them. So I always thought that that's what you do. And then she would use, like, it would vary from year to year, whether it was ham hocks or smoked turkey necks or a smoked turkey wing, or there was some meat in there that would give it that flavor. And I have come to like to use a shank, like a smoked shank, that would go in there, and that gives it a nice flavor, and meat too. But butter, a lot of it was like definitely a big part of it.
Really? Yeah, totally different. So the way I was taught to do collard greens was, if you're smoked meat, if you can get well, not if, it wasn't hard to get them in Ohio, but it's harder here for some reason, like a country ham slice, like not just smoked something, but country smoked, because country for some reason means saltier and more seasoned. So you put that in some water and boil the water probably for at least like a half hour to an hour. Um, do you guys do the thing where after you clean the greens, you lay a bunch of them on a table and roll them up, and then cut them like about, I'd say probably about every inch or so, so they come out to like 1 inch slices.
Yeah, I cut out the spine in the middle and then I lay them
Yeah,
down like tobacco leaves and then roll it up like a cigar and then slice it. So you have all of these. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a trick I learned later. I don't know how my grandmother did it before. I think she just like ripped them up by hand.
Oh yeah, yeah. My mom, when she told me how to do it, she said to rip out the spines, and I said, "This is for the birds. I'm gonna lay these down on a cutting board and just cut them."
Yeah. But
So
the
I would cut
spine
like
is,
a
the spine is like it's tough. It's a lot. That's why they need to be
yeah,
cooking for 2 hours in order to make the spine more edible.
right. So yeah, I just cut that mug out. I mean, it was gonna come out anyway because she was ripping hers out. But even ripping them out sometimes like is hard because down
Hmm.
by the base of the spine, those little they look like arteries coming out to the rest of the
Hmm.
leaf. Those parts get tough
Hmm.
toward the bottom. So
Yeah.
yeah, cutting was a lot easier.
Well,
And
Christine says
you,
she buys them pre-chopped. Stopped rolling them years ago.
oh,
Fair enough.
that works.
Yeah.
Um, as long as the price isn't too much different. But if you're not cooking greens all the time, you probably don't care much anyway.
But they don't cut the
Um,
spines out when you buy them pre-chopped.
oh, so the spines are still in there, cut up.
Hmm. I mean,
Oh,
that was the same complaint I had about frozen broccoli. They leave the whole stem in there, but that's not, we don't consider that edible.
you don't consider that edible? uh, the
Um,
broccoli trunk is edible. It's just not. It doesn't
it's
taste
not
good.
pleasing. It's not pleasing. Well, Glenda
It's
asked
not.
about chitlins, so I don't make those. I don't know how. My grandmother didn't make them. So,
I yeah. My parents made chitlins probably 2 years ago, and they still have leftovers from that, and they are very happy to not have to clean chitlins again because,
yeah.
God, it stinks up the entire house. Yeah, never cook chitlins. God willing, I never will.
Yeah.
It's not something I ever want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that back to the greens. That was the main thing. It was just
Hmm.
the smoked meat, and then
And
I
some
don't think
kind
we
of
use
broth, chicken broth or something.
no.
Mm.
Ours it was just the smoked meat makes the broth,
Mm.
and then you just throw all the greens on top of that. They cook
Hmm.
down. Oh, you probably spice that broth too. The stuff from the smoked meat, the broth that it made. The same basic spices like your onion and whatever, but like yeah, like yours is fancier with the actual chopping up and sautéing vegetables. That sounds good though.
Yeah, definitely. And then there were always string beans. I don't know why, but and it was my job as a kid to snap the beans. So
Mm-hmm.
that was something I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so that usually, I think my grandmother, there was some other meat that went in there. Maybe it was like salt pork or fat back or something like that. So that went in there. But
Yeah.
she didn't. It wasn't string beans like some people have, where there's almonds in them or breading on top. We didn't do any of that. It was just it's well, you know.
People do
Um,
that.
I've seen Martha Stewart do
Oh,
that.
oh, you know what? Well, there's string bean casserole,
Hmm.
and actually, come to think of it, I would be mad now if somebody served me string bean casserole and it didn't have real bacon in it. Like now that I know the joy of bacon, don't give me bacon bits that are just bacon
Hmm.
flavored soy.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
actual bacon in there. And
Yeah.
that cream of mushroom soup is probably not going to be anywhere near even keto. It's probably going to be a whole lot of like the base fat in there is probably going to be some soybean oil or something, but at least that tastes good. But
You know,
bacon
and
bits kind of
that's
taste bad.
crazy. That's crazy because cream of anything is like the easiest keto thing that you can do. I mean, once
Yeah.
I learned how to make creamed spinach and creamed other kind of vegetables, it's like, oh man, this is great. I can totally eat this. So
Okay.
cream of
So,
mushroom soup, like you could make that yourself for sure. That would be, that would actually be keto and not like full of, all the kind of stuff that you don't want to be eating.
well, sorry to put you on the spot, but enlighten the people. What's the basic creaming something recipe?
Butter and heavy whipping cream. I mean, just like when you make mashed potatoes, same thing.
So just those
So,
two plus the vegetable that you're doing. So I
yeah.
imagine for mushrooms, would you like cook those and blend them up or something, or leave them
I
kind of
wouldn't think
chunky?
so.
Or
You just kind of slice them up and you just saute them and you add, I think you might add cream cheese to give it a little bit more thickness if that's what you were looking for. Yeah.
okay,
Or like those artichoke dips when you go to like, I don't know, Chili's or I don't know, not Wendy's, like, well, any one of those sorts of places that
um,
usually have some kind of warm artichoke dip. Like, it's the
yeah,
same thing.
or the creamy spinach dip is always at a lot of those places too.
Yeah. And that usually, I think it has like maybe Parmesan cheese or something in it as well to give it some more flavor. But yeah, that could be awesome.
All
So I
right, well
see,
there you go. There's another
yeah,
appetizer.
yeah. And Christine says neck bones for the string beans. That's what she puts in it.
Yep.
Um, and Abigail says she adds cream cheese to the sauce. Yeah. So, well, so those are some sides that might be good ideas that almost get you most of the sort of Thanksgiving vibe. I didn't put in cranberry sauce and I didn't put in candied yams. So there might be some complaint at the family when things aren't, fully sweet enough. But you hit a lot of the flavors of of the month or the holiday that you're looking for. So,
Right. And you
yeah.
know what? You tell those folks, like, bring your own slice of pie or something, and you can eat that, and that can be your pie.
Yeah, exactly. And the last entree that we had was rack of lamb with the au jus. So,
Yes.
again, rack of lamb, like a super fancy thing. I've never cooked it before. I don't really know how, but that might be something that is fancy and worth doing for the holiday.
Yeah. And I always feel like, I don't know about you there in New York, but the only lamb that I can find for a decent price any time of year is lamb shoulder chops. I think because they don't look like anything. It's like,
Yeah,
but it's
they seem
actually
like a
really
lot of
good.
bone and a lot of and a joint
They're
in it.
depending, maybe yours are cut different, but at least the ones I'm finding, I don't have any problem with bone. There will be a bone in it, but it will be like one bone, and it doesn't even go through the whole thing. Um, and there's a lot of good fat on it, and I find that lamb fat is more solid than the fat in beef steaks. Like it's small lines of fat, but it actually stays solid as I cook it instead of it all melting. Um, but besides that, pretty much anything you do lamb is going to be expensive as hell. So rack of lamb, super expensive. I can easily spend like $30 on just a couple pounds of a leg of lamb. But oh, they're so good though. They're so worth it. And the holidays are like the one time you're gonna find them on sale.
Yeah. So, okay, so those are some good ideas. Esther, are you happy? Did you hear something you like? She likes jalapeno poppers with cream cheese and bacon. Yeah, that's a favorite.
Those are
And
good.
then One Less Food Addict says, love rack of lamb. It's always affordable at Aldi's. Great.
Nice.
and Esther ordered osobuco, and it came today. So she's looking forward to trying it, and also we'll try a rack of lamb, but she's never had a cooked one. So,
It doesn't seem like it would be that hard. Like it feels like you just spice it right and cook it and don't overcook it. Like those chops are not gonna be very big, so you do not need to cook them a whole lot.
that's sort of the key, to
Yeah,
to cooking. Like, don't overcook it. Like,
right.
easier said than done. Spice it right. Yeah.
Yeah. And depending on the spices you use, it's really hard to go heavy or to go too heavy on those. Like lamb is exactly where I'd use the ones that you love, the oregano and thyme and rosemary. And every time I've done it, it comes out really good. And it's not like I was some spectacular, like I wasn't checking it every 5 minutes, and it's not like I really knew what I was doing.
Yeah. Well, cool. So how did you all like the menu? Are you going to try something off of it? Are there other ideas that you would you would put on it? I think it is a good idea to kind of 2 weeks out. We're now, oh my gosh, we are now 2 weeks out,
Oh,
and
jeez.
yeah, and now is the time to start, figuring out what you need to get, where you get it, how you're going to do it. And in years past, like, I would cook the whole Thanksgiving meal, and so I would start cooking days in advance. And it was, really like I had to plan out when I was going to cook things, where things were going to go, because you're cooking all this stuff, and like, fitting it in the fridge was not really possible necessarily. So now, like with a carnivore dinner, it will be much easier for sure. But I don't know. So tell me, all who are still here and watching, what do you, what's your plan? What are you going to eat? Did you get any ideas today? I would love to hear. Miss M says lamb is pretty cheap at Costco. I think Miss M lives in the land of cheap meat.
Yeah.
Because I'm always hearing about like fancy, amazing stuff that she's able to get.
I I have not heard her complain once about something being expensive. I want to hear what's expensive out there.
Yeah. And what's considered expensive. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Like what's expensive to you, because as
Yeah.
far as I can tell everything's cheap.
Yeah.
She lives in a
Land of
fairy tale.
ribeyes. Yeah. Land of milk and honey. Ribeyes
Right.
for free.
Ribeyes by the truckload.
Yeah. I see Katora says never took the time to cream things, but she's going to do that this year. So that's awesome. Yeah. Let's see. And Cody is definitely going to try the dressing. Okay, please definitely tell me how you did it, how you figured it out. I
Yeah.
totally want to hear about that.
Yeah, post that.
So Delisa says she spent 140 on meat today and will have some of everything. Cool. And Brent is going to have lots of turkey. All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Is it hard to deep fry turkey? Do you have to have a special thing to do it?
I would just figure that you have to have a big enough deep fryer for whatever turkey you're going to use. And that's what ends up making it probably not a thing that people do on a regular basis. And
Because
then,
I hear the stories of it like exploding or people trying to deep fry a frozen one and, that
I
kind
think
of
that,
thing.
yeah, I think that's why. I think if you try to do it while the turkey's still frozen, or like there's still like, because that oil's like super hot. And then you drop something in that's still frozen, so it probably still has water in and around it. Like, I think that is why it ends up exploding.
Okay. All right. Well, I see one less food addict says prime rib, lamb, seafood, lobster, and crabs. This is my tradition. Oof.
Oh my God.
Awesome. Awesome.
Where do you live? And you said earlier you were having beef kidney. Where do you live? I need to come over.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
sounds great.
Mr. Bogglesworth says, I order from a local farm, just waiting on the delivery. Pig feet, steaks, raw milk. Wow. Wow. Awesome.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And then Christine says Wegmans has decent pricing and great quality on meat. There's a Wegmans that opened up near me, so I need to make my way over there and, check it out. And Delisa got goat. Nice. Awesome.
That would be good. I think for the first time in forever, I saw a grocery store that had just goat chunks. So basically the same way I got my goat the time I went to the local store. The only reason I didn't buy any is because it didn't look right. I think the people weren't buying the goat, so this had been out for a couple of days, it looked like. But actually, that would be cool. I could go to that store and buy a whole leg.
A whole lamb leg, yeah.
No, goat leg.
Goat leg. Yeah.
Yeah, huh.
You could do that.
I should try that.
And one less food addict lives in Charlotte. Awesome. I have a bunch of family in Charlotte. So next time I'm down there, which will probably be soon, I'll have to look you up. And
Good
Esther
stuff.
loves turkey, dark meat, also loves ham and collard greens and oven-baked chicken, probably wrapped in bacon. Nice. Katura says, but how do you get enough tallow for deep-fried turkey? Peanut oil is not the best source.
I was thinking about that. That's a lot of tallow.
I mean, you could be saving it up. You could also buy it. I mean, it's expensive, but it's not, it's not crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to, and you would keep reusing it.
Yeah, like once you have all that tallow, that's all the tallow you're going to need for cooking for a long time.
Yeah.
Which is probably, in that sense, it probably still expensive, but better than you having like your oil for like my family, my parents have like one batch of oil that's for frying chicken and one batch of oil that's for frying fish. And it gets cleaned, but it still tastes like fish. It still tastes like chicken.
Right.
Like your tallow is going to taste like turkey. Okay, great. That turkey was good. That's not a problem. And then if I use some of that to cook eggs, I don't think I would care about that. Like, I don't think I would mind it smelling like the last meal a little bit. And I could just use it for everything.
Okay, so Miss Tatey says ham, a little turkey. Was thinking of trying duck this year. Not sure about greens. Not sure. And then greens. So, I had roasted goose once, and it was so good. And the meat was so dark. It was almost purple. And it was so fatty. Yeah. And I was like, man, here I was almost going to skip it because I was like, goose. It was so good.
Oh, that makes sense. I wonder if it's all the birds that swim that have more fat.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Duck's pretty fatty too.
And Esther says she received an email that Belcampo is having a great sale for Thanksgiving. So yeah, totally. Definitely check that out. Miss M says Alaskan king crab is expensive here at $21.99 a pound.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about seafood, but
yeah,
if you want to spice up a meal, that's an easy way to do it, as long as you can pay for it.
Oh, one less food addict, originally a Bronxite. Nice. Love it. Love it. So Katura says my North Carolina family does duck and curry goat for Thanksgiving. No pork for them, so we always have non-traditional meats. God, that sounds really good.
Duck and curry goat? Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So, wow. So you've all have thrown out some really great ideas. So I hope people watching, really kind of consider these ideas and think about how they can fit into your, holiday plan. So Thanksgiving is for sure known for its sides. and known for, its super carby stuff. But it
Yep.
doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that way. There are some other options that are really delicious that will feel special, will make you feel like this is a holiday meal, and yet still save you the carbs. And if you want to do a more relaxed carnivore, having some more plant foods that day, we gave you some good sides to choose from that won't be too damaging, and really try to enjoy it. And then right after, join the Thanksgiving to Christmas Carnivore Challenge. So even if the day doesn't turn out quite as you had planned, you can jump right into the challenge the next day, and that day is just one day, it's over, and then you put it behind you and you rejoin the challenge, right?
Right. The system is built for you to succeed, even if you started off not so great.
Yep, absolutely. Now, Angie Life says, when my grandmother fried fish on Fridays, she always would always fry strips of dough for dessert, even dribbled with honey. They still tasted like fish.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound fun.
No. Cody says carnivore deviled eggs. Yeah, how could I forget? I made deviled eggs not that long ago, and they were fantastic.
Yeah.
God, that's a great idea. I have some eggs now. I might even just do that tomorrow. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
And I meant to bring this up earlier during the entrees. When we were talking about the bacon wrapped chicken, Seabliss has been doing a bacon wrapped meatloaf. That sounds good too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely an option. And then Christine says, did anyone say cauliflower mash with heavy whipping cream and butter? I had said earlier cheesy cauliflower to sort of imitate mac and cheese, but no, the mashed potatoes is also fantastic.
Yeah.
I only made it. I made it once for myself because, like, I made it. I started eating it. I ate a ton of it, and then realized, oh my god, I just ate nearly a head of cauliflower at one time. So you can imagine the results of eating nearly a head of cauliflower at one time. So if you control yourself, yes, it's wonderful. And I was able to make shepherd's pie, which I've always loved. And it was like, oh my God, now I can have this like guilt-free. This is awesome. Yeah.
Good stuff. It's a lot of fiber, a lot of plant material.
Oh my God, yeah. I would never do that now. That would just be a blowout. It would be horrible. Yeah. And it's like, now that I know whipped cream and butter are okay, like eating them on their own together is delightful enough. Like I don't need to mix in other plant material to make it okay. And let's see, Brent says holidays are for prime rib when it goes, or good for prime rib when it goes on sale. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And carnivore egg yolk muffins in lieu of rolls and biscuits. Angie Life, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So I may have to revise my menu and go back through the chat to like get some of these ideas.
A lot of good ideas came from the audience.
Yeah. So I am very pleased. Yeah, awesome. So what are you doing for the holidays, Arian?
I will be eating with my parents, who are not carnivores.
So are you gonna bring some things?
I thought about doing the like creaming a vegetable and doing that as a dip. Like I'm thinking about what I actually feel like doing, along with what I could do, what would fit into their plans. Like my mom, Shirley, already has a menu together. She knows exactly what she's doing. So if I'm going to add to that, it has to be around the edges. And it definitely can't be trying to replace one of the things that she does, because it's just, it's a terrible idea. Yeah. Not trying to get killed out here. So, what'll probably happen is I can add in something And I think an appetizer is a good idea for that. So
Yeah.
my dad will probably eat them with chips. My mom will eat some, and I can eat them with, I don't know, maybe I will make some crispy bacon, and bring that over to eat with the creamed whatever. Probably spinach.
Yeah.
And it'll be
Well,
good to
with
do it that
artichoke
way.
is good too. And you
I don't
get
know
the
that I've
canned
ever had.
artichoke. You can just get the canned artichoke.
I don't know that I've ever had that before, and artichokes are so weird looking. They're a very weird looking vegetable.
The
They
canned
look
ones
like
taste pretty bland. It won't be it's not a strong flavor like that.
okay. I'll think about it. Yeah,
Um
because my first thought was spinach, but it wouldn't hurt to do something more different. And to have them try some dip that didn't come from a can. This is
yeah.
good regular ingredients.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be cool. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right, make a dip.
Yep.
Um so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Yeah, I am not sure. I think I'm going to try to find some fancy hunk of meat and do something with it.
And that's the other thing. Like if you're doing like a simple, if it's really carnivore Thanksgiving, like it's just for you and you don't have to cook for the family or something, you can just make it like a nicer version of a regular day. You don't have to do a big hoopla for it. And
Well, I
I
think
don't know
it's just
about
going to
you.
be me and my carnivore BF. So we will just have meat.
There's a carnivore BF.
Didn't I say?
Oh, okay. All right. Good stuff. Yeah. And if that's how
Yeah.
that works, like that would be perfect. I think I would be completely satisfied for a person just to have a, or not for a person, for me just to have a normalish meal, but fancier. Like the same way we've talked about, like just you could take any old regular meal and put scallops next to it, and it becomes fancy day.
Yeah. Well, Miss Tate says spinach artichoke and crab dip. It's really good. I believe that. I feel like I've had that or ordered that at a restaurant or something. Uh huh.
That's an idea. Now, see, is that gonna go as good on tortilla chips though?
Maybe not tortilla chips. Bring some other kind of breadsticks or I don't know,
Yeah, like I'm thinking about what they're gonna put them on.
Melba toast. I feel like that's like from the 1970s. It was a good, it was a good cracker. It held good things. I don't know.
That sounds good though.
Yeah. So I didn't realize how quickly we're coming up on Thanksgiving, actually. I mean, even though I said it, now I'm thinking, oh man, I gotta go and buy a piece of meat. Or if I'm gonna order it, I have to like order it right now.
Yeah,
And it might still
like,
be too late.
and I feel like I need to start looking around, because I want to do, even if I am eating over there, I want to do something a little bit nicer for myself too.
Yeah.
So I need to start looking around and see. I really want that prime rib roast. I think it's either going to be prime rib or it's going to be like some sort of lamb that I don't normally eat.
Yeah.
So I need to start looking for that and see what's on sale.
Well, Angie Life says, carnivore husband insists on a turkey, but I'm having ribeye. Now, I've never liked turkey, so I don't feel wedded to it for any meal.
I always tell me this. Does it weird you out when people are like extremely pressed about turkey?
Yeah, well, I know.
When they're like,
I've done that. I've been that person. I brined
why?
turkey. I brined the turkey once for I think it was like 36 hours to get it to be really juicy because I hate dry turkey and brining was the only way. And it did in fact work. But then think about, what size receptacle can hold a 20-pound turkey submerged in salt water, except
Right.
like a big bucket that you buy at Home Depot. And then this somehow has to get into the refrigerator. So yeah, I've been that person that has just, done all of these things.
The Home Depot paint bucket that
Yeah.
has a
Yeah.
turkey in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been that person who's been very pressed about the turkey. I've been the person who didn't defrost it early enough, so that was a problem. I've been the person who overloaded the oven, so it didn't cook fast enough, and dinner was like 5 hours late.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've been all of those people.
Okay, but what about that person who it's just a regular ass turkey? They didn't do anything special to it, and this person is just raring to go, like telling people like, "Oh, you stay off my turkey. You can have everything else." I've literally had this speech given to me before. I don't care what else y'all eat, but that turkey is mine. And the rest of the family, we're all looking at him like, "Dude, you can have the damn turkey. We don't.
Yeah.
There's much better meat all over this kitchen. You and that turkey can go get married, and we will be over here eating something that is tender and tastes good."
Agreed. Totally. So Delisa says she's totally eaten spinach, artichoke, and crab dip with tortilla chips. Yeah,
Okay.
excellent. And Christine, Thanksgiving brunch with quail and duck eggs. Wow.
Mm,
Wow.
fancy.
And Angie Life says, I brined one too. Too much like work. I can live without turkey. Yeah. It was worth it though. I mean, it definitely made the turkey way, way, way juicier. But yeah, it's a lot of work. And if the turkey is small, you can get into a large soup pot. But when you've got a big turkey, you got to move into the bucket range.
Yeah, and Brent says a bag might work too. That makes sense.
I don't know.
I assume they make bags that big, like basically a humongous Ziploc bag that's probably made out of a thicker material.
Yeah, well, the cooking bags that you can cook in. Yeah, I remember at the time that I didn't have a cooking bag that was big enough for it, because I did think about that, and that didn't work either. And I had to take out a tray in the refrigerator, so there was enough upright room. It was big. It was big. The whole thing was big.
It's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. But, it was requested. But that's why I would have to cook for days in advance. And, I made a red velvet cake that was, really beloved. The stuffing and the candied yams, and I also made cranberry sauce from scratch too. So, yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. Cody Flyer says you gotta cook turkey breast down so the fat drips into the white meat. It's not pretty, but it tastes better. Yeah, that's true.
What does cooking it down mean? Like upside down?
Yeah, yeah. I like to cook my turkey on a V-rack and then cook it most of the time. I cook it right side up, but I cook it most of the time with aluminum foil over the breast, and that keeps it from getting as dry. And then by the end, take that off so it can get browned and crispy. But and then keep basting it, of course. And I cover it with strips of bacon. That helps too.
Okay. I feel like that might make the most difference.
Yeah, probably. Abigail says she dry brined a turkey last year. No more wet brining a turkey for me. Yeah, that would ease, some of the process. So, and Brent bags and brines. Yeah, so yeah, I got to just get smaller turkeys. That was probably the issue.
That'll do it.
Yeah. And Angie Life used to use Reynolds oven roasting bags. I switched to an all parchment bag last year. Oh, cool! I have lots of parchment paper, but I didn't know they made bags.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah,
I've never seen them before.
So Christine asks, now that you're carnivore, do you still cook non-carnivore treats for your family and friends? No. So I did stop cooking the red velvet cake, and there was much, anger, outrage, a lot of outspoken
gnashing of teeth.
Yeah. But I feel partly. Thank you, Esther, for the super sticker. Thank you, $4.99. That's so awesome. I went on Thanksgiving Day strike probably about 2 years ago, because I finally was like, I'm putting all of this work in to cook this stuff. People come over, you don't really appreciate it. Like, you don't understand. I've been cooking for like 4 days, and you pick at this, and you're like, I don't like this. Well, I just want the cake. And it's like, well, I can't even use that language on here. Can't use this language on the air. But yeah, so I finally went on strike, and so then we started going to a restaurant. So it was like, I don't want this. I don't need this stress.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Yeah.
If I was the person who normally cooked Thanksgiving dinner, or even like occasionally did, I probably would try to still cook everything. Except for maybe the desserts. Like, maybe I'd let other people do that, but like the normal sides and stuff, because I would just feel like I don't want people screwing up the sides. Like, you got to be able to give that stuff to somebody you can trust. Even if you're like, all right, it's not carnivore, I still don't want Thanksgiving ruined because whoever screwed up the dressing.
Well, it's very thoughtful of you. Good.
I probably would still cook those things if I were normally that person.
Yeah.
Lucky for me, I'm not.
And let's see, one less food addict says she puts a small turkey in the slow cooker after browning it in the oven, and it was perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. And then Bayet Inspo says, easy, sister. Yeah, I was mad, though. I was mad.
Oh, I get
so
it.
I have much respect for people who are the ones who cook the big family meal. And, and I did it only because, like in my family, my grandmother was the one who cooked everything. So for years, that's where everybody went. And then, she got older, and my uncle's second wife, she became the one that had all the family gatherings and barbecues and cookouts and dinners and everything. She was just a very, kind of like social person. And then one year, it was very tragic, but she died suddenly like a week before Thanksgiving. And so that was, obviously, that was obvious. That year was just, everything was terrible. But in subsequent years, like, there was no one to step in and fill that gap. And so we would kind of, it was like we were weird people just sort of wandering around, not knowing what to do. And I think back then there was less often went to restaurants. So when you would go to a restaurant, it was really kind of depressing because you look around and there's all these other people there who, for whatever reason, some tragic thing happened that they couldn't be at home cooking. So everyone is just out together and sad. So, like
the family on A Christmas Story.
Yeah, just, it's just terrible.
Right.
Everyone has some sad story. And so
depressing.
Yeah. So finally, I kind of stood in and said, okay, I'm going to, I'll cook everything. But not knowing, that how much work it was and that I'm doing it all myself. Like, my grandmother did it, but other people would pitch in and bring stuff and stuff. So I don't know if she was doing all of it. But here, I took it on and was doing all of it. And then one year, I think my mom, called and she was like, oh, I promised, the people at work that you would make some candied yams for the potluck. And I was like, I don't work there. I don't know these people. And then she's like,
right.
Yeah, and it's tomorrow. And I was like, are you kidding me?
I gotta cook candy yams in a day.
in a night. This was the night before. So I'm like, okay. Thanks. For people I don't even know.
I gotta tell you, somebody be short.
Yeah. But it was the cake that was most often promised to people, all sorts of people. And some of my coworkers, they just were like, oh, you gotta make this cake. So I was trying to get out of it, and I was like, it's really expensive, like all the ingredients, and sometimes it's hard to find some of the ingredients. So they handed me $50, and they're like, go ahead, leave work early, go get the ingredients.
I mean, that's how you got to do it. Like, so you were trying to get out of it.
I didn't want to do it at all. I didn't want to do it at all.
Oh, okay.
But all of my complaints they had an answer to. So it was like, oh man. So, I mean, at least, okay, I got some money for the ingredients, but I still had to make the cake. Yeah. Yeah. But it was that good. And then one year cool. I made the cake, and there was about 2/3 of it left. I covered it in saran wrap, and it was on a plate, and I had it in the middle of the dining room table, and it was a big dining room table. And when I came home, there was a plate on the floor all by itself, and I thought, that's weird. And then I looked up at the table. Cake is gone. All the saran wrap gone. And no crumbs gone. Everything has been completely eaten by my black lab.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Whole cake.
By the so dog. That was bad times for the dog.
No, labs they've got cast iron stomachs. They eat anything, and they're just fine. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
But it kept me from eating many more slices, so that was good. Yeah. Anyway, Esther says restaurants are full nowadays for Thanksgiving. Yeah, definitely. It definitely feels like that now. Then it felt weird, but I don't think, it's much more common now for people to go out.
Yeah. Home cooked meals are just a lot less of a tradition nowadays.
I feel great about not cooking the cake anymore, Bayet. So I feel great about that. I don't ever want to have to do that again because it is a lot of work. I mean, and I did make it my first year when I first went keto. I did still make it for both Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I made it without tasting it. I didn't eat any portion of it at all. So I was okay with that. But, it's just cooking is a lot of work. And, and cleaning. If I had a cooking show where somebody else was chopping, preparing, dicing, and cleaning, and I was just standing there pouring things in a bowl, I would love cooking.
Right.
Yeah.
In that huge, beautiful kitchen that's got that island in the middle and the double oven and the stove that's like 6 or 8 burners.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And having all the correct equipment to be able to cook so you're not trying to jerry rig something for that one time a year that you need it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Bayet, thank you so much for the super sticker. $3. That's awesome. Thank you. And says I can relate to people's insistence and paying you for the ingredients. It's happened to her as well with baked goods. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it was a great cake. One Less Food Addict. It really was. The Cake Man Raven. I don't know if you've heard about him. He was, he became like a New York legend. He made this cake, that and a 7-Up cake, and so somehow I found his recipe somewhere. I think he had done a show on the Food Network, and so that was what I used. So. And adjusted it over the years. So, yeah. So anyway, I am looking forward to Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to a carnivore Thanksgiving. I'm really excited about that. I don't know. I might try to put together some video and really make it more, more special so that you all can see what I'm eating.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you?
Show something different around Thanksgiving than everyone with their piled high plates and only one piece of it is meat and it's like a really small portion and then the whole rest of the plate is sides. All the
Yeah.
sides are starch. There's like
Yeah, what
a little.
happened?
There's like
Years
one
ago,
spoon of
meat
green
was the
beans.
center. No,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I definitely feel like Thanksgiving. The star is supposed to be the meat, but most of my life the star has been the sides.
Yeah. Well, the sides have been taking a bigger and bigger role where, yeah, it used to be turkey. That's what you were focusing on.
Hmm. Not
So,
so much anymore.
yeah. So I'm glad that we've switched it around though. I definitely feel better for doing a carnivore approach, and you're gonna feel better the next day. Now I have definitely had Thanksgivings where I ate myself stupid, and then the next day did it again.
Yeah, feel like garbage after that, and then
Mm-hmm.
I start to get better because I eat simpler after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it'll be a few of the sides, and the meat is more of the meal. I'll tell you what was really good. The turkey sandwich is somewhat, um, because that's what I do with the leftovers. I think I normally will have like one more Thanksgiving plate, and then after that, I'm just making a whole different meal out of all the different ingredients that made up Thanksgiving. And lunchtime, those like random ham sandwiches and random turkey sandwiches, they're so good.
Mm-hmm. My grandmother made turkey tetrazzini if there was turkey
Hmm.
left. Mm-hmm. But we're from New York, so it's a weird melting pot.
Right, yeah, like I gotta look up what tetrazzini is because I don't know what that is.
Um, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. In my house, it was like there's no more cooking is being done. So if you can't make something out of these leftovers, then you just are out of luck.
Oh yeah, my mom didn't cook for a good week after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Miss M says, I just decided I'm not baking on request anymore for the holidays. No more donuts, cookies, or pies. You know what's an
Yeah,
interesting
right
thing
on.
in, yeah, in, so for Hanukkah, you're supposed to eat things that are fried. It's like part of the holiday. And so, well, New York, of course, we have a large Jewish population. And I live near an area where they would have a big menorah outside and a big celebration outside and make fresh fried donuts. And so that was the first time I'd had, and they're jelly donuts. I don't know why, but this is what they do for Hanukkah.
Hmm.
And I guess some of the kids and stuff have this contest to see to eat as many donuts as days of Hanukkah. So on the first day you eat one donut, on the second day you eat two, and by the eighth day you eat eight. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, and I was like, man, I'm so glad I'm not young anymore because I would
That
totally
sounds
do that.
decadent.
Yeah. But oh my god, I've just got to say, having a freshly fried, warm jelly donut. Oh, I was like, wow, this is amazing. This was before my keto days, but yeah, but no more. Done, done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna tell you my little fresh donut experience then, because
Mm-hmm.
it pales in comparison to that. Number one, number two. That's not what we're doing. We're not reminiscing about the
Yeah.
the bad days.
Well, it's funny. I mean, I feel now I can reminisce without it triggering me, but it took a long time to get to that point. But now I can look back and just like look at it as great mouth time, but not to be repeated.
Mm.
Let's see. And Esther says, my nose and eyes may say, eat the yams and cake and other starchy stuff, but my mind will remind me how I would feel if I indulge, and I don't want to experience that gastrointestinal pain. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Angie Life has made turkey tetrazzini. Yeah, that's totally a thing. I think it's an Italian thing.
It makes perfect sense. Like after I
Mm-hmm.
looked it up, I said, "Oh yeah, you need some way to use all that stuff." Like you
Mm-hmm.
got all this turkey left over. We would just have slices of turkey that would just last forever until
Mm-hmm.
we finally ate them all, probably in sandwiches. But that makes more sense. the tetrazzini.
Yeah. All right, guys. So everybody has great ideas here. I'm super excited for this to be the first carnivore holiday season that you make it through happily, and that you are happy with your success, and at the end of it you are healthier, not struggling. Right. So yeah, so I encourage you all to sign up for the challenge and become part of the group. I think I'm gonna make a separate Facebook group, so it is open to anybody who is interested in doing it. I'm trying to, get some, fun goodies and stuff like that. So hopefully, we'll have that, and that'll be really exciting. And maybe we'll see if we can't get some guests and things like that to come in. So we'll make it like a real thing, a real, party, a real holiday thing. It'll be, almost like, hey, for Christmas, I miss doing the advent calendar, so maybe I'll make it something like that. Just a surprise every day. Yeah.
That's an idea.
Yeah. So, so it's going to be a good time. It's a good holiday season. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. We're going to end this year a lot better than it's been so far.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, 2020.
Kentaro wants to know how to sign up for the challenge.
Oh, there's a link in the description. So the first link there is a MailChimp, it's a landing page, and you just put in your email address. So I'm going to, email you all when the Facebook group is set up and you can join it, and we'll do that. But, this year really sucked, and you're right. And I am so excited to just, put 2020 behind us. And I had such high hopes, It was going to be the year of clear sight, good vision, and, getting things done. And it just became something else entirely.
It's been a mess.
Yeah. Yeah. Christine, I'm glad that you caught us live as well. I hope you had a good time. We do enjoy, hanging out here, and I love doing these lives with you guys. And hopefully, I'm going to try to create more content and different types of content as well. But this is definitely a staple. I love doing this. All right, everybody. So we should say good night, and we will see you next week on Tuesday. All right.
Good night, everyone.
All right. Good night, everybody.